So here we have the Xpeng G9. This is the standard range model with the comfort package and the audio package inside. Also has the retractable tow hook. I was given this car yesterday for a review, and I spent a lot of time yesterday driving this car around, getting to know the car, getting to experience the car, really figuring out what the car is all about. And today I will take you around it, show you a little bit of its features, and also take it for a drive. So, starting up here in the front. I will say the car has quite a simple design, but I do like it. Have some lights down here with some sensors and LiDAR scanners, and have a light bar here running across the car. One thing you'll see with this car is it has a lot of cameras. For example, you have a camera here on the side that shoots backwards, have one here going forward, have one here going down the side, cameras up there, camera in the front, and camera in the back, camera down here, camera up here. So, opening up the back of the car, double tap here, the car will open up. You have a very good amount of space in here. Also have this cover here which you can remove in case you don't want it. And underneath the floor you have a little bit of space for charging cables and whatnot. As I mentioned, this car also has the upgraded sound package that comes with the comfort package. So you do have quite a lot of speakers in here. Over here on the right side you have buttons to lower and raise the second row of seats, and you do have a 12-volt outlet here in case you need to power something. I will also note that this power outlet here can actually power something for 12 hours even when the car is off. So in case you have something like a cooler or something in here, it will be powered. Closing up again, press the button, it closes up. Moving on to the second row, just unlock the car, the handles come out like this, and you can enter. This one has the saddle brown interior. I think it looks really nice, has a nice color, feels really good. As you can see here, you have a little bit of controls for the seat. Again, you can press this one and the thigh support can kind of extend. As you can see, you can also retract it. The button here in the middle, if you press it, activates the massage function. However, you cannot adjust what massage you get. You have to ask the front row passengers for that. Also here in the door you have a little button to adjust your backrest. And you can do that on both the right seat and the left seat. The middle seat kind of gets nothing in this sense. But you do have a very nice armrest here with quite a lot of space and cup holders, 2 of them. It's quite comfortable. With this comfort package you do get heated, ventilated and massaging seats in all 4 seats. Again, except for the middle seat, they don't get anything. So this car is quite comfortable for pretty much everyone in the car. There's plenty of legroom here. Keep in mind, this seat is pushed back because this car does have the easy entrance. So there is more space than this when I am seated. But even with the seat pushed back, there is still plenty of space for me. You also have a pocket here on the back of the front seats, and you have a decent storage compartment here in the doors. All doors in the car also do feature soft close, so you can just bring the door up and the car will do the rest for you. Now moving on to the front passenger seat. This seat is a little bit different than the others to the fact that it has this long leg thigh support. It's quite nice actually. I kind of wished more seats had this one. This one is extremely comfortable. You can also adjust the angle and everything on it so you can get like really comfortable. Again, you can adjust it here with this little dial function. Activate massage goes here, and you can adjust your seat this way. Let me just turn down this a little bit. Perfect. So the passenger in this car gets their own screen. You can go on Disney, you can go to Netflix, whatever, because you do have a browser in here, which means you can just access pretty much any streaming service that is browser friendly. Also have TikTok, Apple Music, Instagram, whatever. You can also connect your own Bluetooth headphones, which means that you can sit here and watch a movie or a series and not even disturb anyone in the car, which means that the driver can sit here, listen to his own thing, like music or whatever, and you can sit here and watch your own movie in peace. You can also adjust your passenger seat here on the screen, where you can have different positions which you can adjust and also rename. So in case you want a position for, individual people, or you want a position for driving, one for relaxing, or you can also adjust your cool seat, heated seat, or massage. If you swipe from the top, you have a little bit more in-depth functions. So again, if you press on the seat massage, here you can see the massage, and you can actually adjust it for anyone in the car. You can do it for the driver, the back passengers, and yourself. So here you have the different massage options and the intensity. The massage program will not run forever. It will run for a set amount of time and then it will stop. Just so you know, you have to re-enable it sometimes. Other than that, you do have a few apps here where you can use. When you press this, you'll get into this application. Now this application will only fully start when you pull down here and you open up the makeup mirror. A very bright light will come on, but you can adjust the light warmth, and you can also press the button here to get even closer to the mirror. As soon as you close this mirror, go here, you are ready. There you go. I also really quickly just want to show you the charging port. To open the charging port, you can use the key here, or you can also open it from inside the car. But to open it with the key, you double press on this icon, and the charging port will kind of disappear. And there you go. You can also take this plug out in case you want to fast charge. Double tap it again, it'll close right up. Let us very quickly just take a little look at the Frunk, because this car does have one. To open it, you pull this tab down here twice. There you go. And then you can open up the Frunk. Shouldn't be any hidden levers or something. Lift it up, and there you go. A decent little Frunk. You can also add your sprinkler fluid right here. There you go. And that is pretty much everything you'll find up here in the front. Just close it down, close it, and just give it a firm push. Just like that. Let us head into the driver's seat. Again, same seat controls as before, but you can see the thigh support is more like the back seats. And once again, soft closing the door. And the car will now bring me to my driving position that I have set. So, sitting in here, I have adjusted the seat to my seating position, and I do find this extremely comfortable. You can really adjust a lot of stuff, including with the thigh support and the lumbar support and everything. You can also adjust it in here. There's a lot of menus in the car. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Tesla system, where you have like this menu line and you just go through it. You can see here you have all the stuff. Again, with the seating menu here, you can also fine adjust. So again, you can adjust any seat here, but you can press over here in adjustment. And here you can really like fine tune your seat. So here's the basic seat settings with the height, the position, and the angle of the backrest. In here you have the thigh support, you can choose the angle of it and how far in it goes, and the lumbar support. Down here in the bottom of the car you have like your hot bar. You can adjust what icons you want down here by just holding on it, and you can remove the ones you don't want and you can add the ones you do want. Over here you have different menus for whatever you would want to use. Have 360 cameras here, works very well. You can see here, you can see both sides of the car going forward, so you know you're not hitting anything. You can see all the way around the car. Over here you have the 3D view, as you can see. Tow hook can be deployed right here. You can just press this button and the tow hook will automatically come out and get into position. And when you want to retract it, same thing, goes right back in. You don't have to even get out of the car. As I mentioned, this car does also have the upgraded audio package, which is the DIN audio here. I spent quite a lot of time yesterday listening to the audio system while I was charging, and I have to say it is quite a nice system. It really sounds really good. You do also in here have a Xpeng kind of a concert feature where you can press and you have different sound options to test the system in full with the whole Dolby Atmos system and everything. It sounds really incredible. If you have the option, go try an Xpeng, get in the car and just go through these ones. It's really a good experience. This car also does have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. However, I'm not a big user of it, so I didn't use it that much, but it is wireless Apple CarPlay, so you can just place your phone and get CarPlay on the screen. Works quite well. Also, you will notice that from over here, the passenger screen is a little bit dimmed, so you cannot see as much on the screen. Also do have your VR assistant, which is over here, which will kind of show you what's happening around the car. You do have sleeping cabin in case you want to sleep in the car. You can press here.
Juster din sædetilstand manuelt, hvis du vil sove.
It told me to adjust my seating position manually if I want to sleep. So here, what you can do is you can just adjust your seating position. So in case you want to sleep, you can put some music. You can also put on an alarm so the car will wake you up. A nice feature if you are traveling longer distances and you need a little nap. There's also an app store in case you want to install some apps on it. There's not that many apps to get. Something like Apple Music or Amazon Music. But there's not a whole lot, but there is some. Down here in the center console you have 2 wireless charging pads that also have cooling fans in case your phone gets too hot. 2 cup holders, and in the center here you have a storage compartment. Quite a deep one actually. And it opens from both sides. Underneath you also have quite a big storage room, USB-A, C, and a 12-volt big storage compartment here in the door. Up here in the middle you have a sunglass holder. You also have light here in the car. You just press on the plastic itself and it turns on. The steering wheel, it feels good. It feels nice, you can get a good grip on it. I will say the plastic trim here on the bottom half feels a little... Sometimes it can feel a little rough when you come like from the back here, or you like run your thumbs over it. You can feel the edge of the plastic a little bit sometimes. Not the most comfortable feeling, but it's not the worst thing in the world either. On the steering wheel you have a button here for using the autopilot system. While the autopilot system is not in use, it will control your climate options. You have a button here to talk to the inbuilt assistant. Your favorite button, which you can actually choose what it does through the menu over here. Over here you have your audio options, so volume up, next track. Back here it kind of works the same way as Tesla does, where you put it in gear, and if you want to activate autopilot, 1 push just keeps the speed, 2 pushes activate the autopilot system. Over here you have your very basic blinker and wiper controls and everything. To adjust stuff like the steering wheel, the mirrors, you can swipe down from the top. You can do the steering wheel adjustments, the mirror adjustments. Also, when you are just one person in the car, you can turn off the passenger screen by pressing here, and it will go dark. So I think there's just one more thing to do, and that is to take the car out for a drive. Now, I did mention this car is the standard range model, so I will put up some numbers on the screen to show you the performance, the numbers on this car, the range, everything like that, so you can get a good feel for it. So, let's get going here. Now the car has specific drive modes and stuff you can change in here. I have it usually in standard mode, but you can choose like for the accelerator response, comfortable, standard, sport. This car is not the fastest, but I would say it's comfortably fast for the car. Also how the steering feels and the brake regeneration. I have tried all of them, and I do prefer to have the car in the X pedal mode and sport steering. I do find the other ones to be maybe a little bit too soft for me. So just driving along here, the car feels really comfortable. I had the passenger with me yesterday while going on a longer drive, and they were in agreement that the car is really comfortable, especially when you can just lay the seat back, get really comfortable, get some cooling in the seat while you're watching your favorite show. It's a really comfortable car for driving longer distances. If you watched my previous video, the Fisker video, you will also know that I have a back injury, which causes me to be a little bit more sensitive to cars and to driving longer distances. But this car really helped a lot when driving. Even after having driven for quite a few hours, I didn't have nearly as much pain as I would usually have in any other car that I've tested. This car is also quite a big car, which means that I did have a few issues yesterday with getting it into places like the parking garages and stuff like this, because parking garages here at least are not really that big car friendly, but you can do it. It's just something to be mindful of if you're getting this car. I did also have a lot of time to try out the autopilot systems, and they work very well. The only thing I can kind of note is that there is a little bit of kind of ping-ponging from the lanes, a little bit, not much, but it does it sometimes. Suspension feels really good, the car feels solid, feels confident. Steering as well, the car just goes where you want it to go. We will also now take this car out for quite a longer drive, because I need to bring this car back to the dealership, and that drive is around a little bit over an hour. One thing I can say is that even though this one is the standard range model, yesterday on a full charge it had around 350 kilometers of range. Now that doesn't sound like a lot, but what I do find in this car is it does keep its range numbers more than other cars, which means that those 350 kilometers that it claims is actually quite close to what it does. Whereas in other cars I've tested, they might claim 400 kilometers, but in reality they only get 320, 350 kilometers. This one is very close to what it says it will do, which I do really appreciate. The navigation system works very well. It does a really good job at showing you how much battery you will have upon arrival, different routes. You can really adjust if you want to avoid certain things like highways or tolls or ferries or whatever. Also, the system is very responsive. The car is also extremely quiet, coming from, you know, outside noise and all these kinds of things. It's very quiet, very isolated. It's a calming experience to drive. This is also my first time driving an Xpeng, and I will say I am very impressed by what they have made here. Before this, I would say that Polestar is probably my favorite, but I do think Xpeng has kind of moved up on that list quite a lot. Sure, there are a few things like material choices. I'm not a big fan of this piano black, the plastic here, and also plastic up here. But those are very, very minor things, because I can't really find any negatives, for me at least, when it comes to the driving experience and the systems in here. There hasn't really been anything that disappointed me at all. I am very impressed with this car. I think it's hard to find a car that offers more bang for your buck than this one. So, now we are ready to continue our trip. Having charged now for 15 minutes, we went from 61% all the way up to 87%. And that is at these 300 kilowatt chargers. Now we will just continue our trip here. The charging in this car is very fast. You will not be spending a lot of time at the chargers. Yesterday, I charged from around 30%, I think it was 33% up to 100%. It took 40 minutes at the same chargers here. Also, due to that speed of charging, I don't think it's a big problem to get the standard range version, because again, you will not charge for a long time before you can continue your trip anyways. So now here we will just get back on the highway, and we will do a little bit of highway driving, so you can hear how the car sounds when driving at higher speeds. Go. So as you can see here, driving at 130. The car, again, it's very, very smooth, super comfortable, has this very effortless feeling when driving. The wind noise is a lot less than I expected from a car of this size and its shape. Usually cars like this, they tend to pick up a lot of wind noise, kind of like a brick moving through the air. But this one, very quiet. All the systems in here, again, they work fairly well. If you want the car to just hold the speed and hold the distance to the car in front, you just press down firmly on the gear shift, like that. Over here you can adjust the speed in increments. Now I put it at 130. The car will hold 130. In order to activate their autopilot system, you do it twice. And there you go. You still have to hold on the steering wheel, but the car will now hold its speed and keep you inside the lanes. If you want to deactivate it, you can simply just press the brake. Overall, I will say this car is really a comfortable car to drive. There is not a lot to complain about with this car. I haven't found anything that I can complain about with the car itself. The only thing is just a few material choices in some places, such as up here with the plastic part, and down here on the steering wheel there's a little bit of like a lip here that your fingers sometimes can feel. Other than that, I have not found a single thing that I don't like about this car, at least for me. It is definitely a special feeling to be driving down the road while you're getting a massage. You can have cooled seats or heated seats or whatever. Passenger can be over here watching a movie with their headphones, all lounged back. It is really a comfortable vehicle. And as I also previously mentioned, for the price, I think this car is hard to beat. For me personally, if I had to choose, I would choose this model, the standard range, with the comfort and audio package, simply because the speed of which this car charges makes up for the fact that it doesn't have that much range. So I am willing to save the money there and get the same driving experience. But that is my personal choice. I do feel that this car is competing kind of with the Hongxi that I also made a video on, and the Kia EV9, cars in that kind of segment. But again, if you look at what you get for the price, I do think this car is really hard to beat. I did also yesterday try the auto parking system. It wasn't an empty parking lot, but it did work extremely well. Essentially, you drive into a parking lot, you activate parking mode, which will show up on the screen once it senses that you are driving slower. Then you can activate parking mode, and it will highlight all the parking spots that it finds. You just press on one of those parking spots, tell the car how you want to park, and the car will do the rest. You can get completely off the steering wheel, off the gas pedals, everything. The car will handle all of it. Now, I did do it in the dark, but I will try and put a video that was recorded on a phone up on screen so you can see a little bit of what it looked like when doing it. I would actually be quite interested in doing a range test on one of these cars, essentially charging it to 100% and then just driving to see how far I get. Let me know in the comments if that is something that you would like to see, and I will see what I can arrange with Xpeng. Another thing again, all the systems in this car kind of just work. Even from pairing your headphones to the passenger screen to just working the seat controls, finding what you need. It just works effortlessly and fast. There's no lag or choppy screens or something like this. Yesterday I tried to start one of my own videos, one of my 4K videos on the screen over here, and the video just started and began playing no problem whatsoever, which to be honest I was a little bit surprised about, that it was that fast. It's like sitting with an iPad. And returning to the subject of comfort, again, I do have a back injury that makes me more sensitive to driving longer distances, but I do really feel that this car is very, very comfortable, even though I do have that back injury. So I think if you are someone like me who suffers from back pain, chronic back pain, whatever, do give one of these cars a try and see how it is. Make sure you try the one with the comfort package, because it really helps quite a lot. If you have other suggestions for cars that are also very, very comfortable and potentially helped you with back pain, please leave them down below and I will try my best to go give them a try and make a video about it. Again, if we put the car here, I just want to see how well it does now if we're going to pass another car. We go into the driving settings here, we put the car in sport, and there you go. You can immediately feel that the car changes its accelerator response, becomes way more aggressive. We can just kind of slow down just a little bit here. Again, the car is not the fastest. It has a 0 to 100 time of around 6.5 seconds, so it's not the fastest thing, but I do feel that the speed is suitable for this car. See here, I'm gonna pass this car, and we're gonna put the foot down. So as you can see, it's not the fastest thing, but it is plenty fast for getting around every day and having a little bit of fun with it as well. Put it back here in standard mode. There you go. Visibility in this car is good. Of course, it's a little bit limited out the back due to the size of the vehicle and seats and everything, but overall visibility is quite good. I don't feel that there is anything extremely blocking or hindering my vision. If anything, you do have the 360 camera right here. As you can see right now, this one is pointing forward, so I can see each side of the car. You do also have the option here to see both sides of the car, backwards, forwards. There is plenty of options to see. So that was all for this Xpeng G9 video. If you have any questions or you would like to see any other cars, please do leave a comment down below and I will try to respond as fast as possible. If you enjoyed the video and you think I deserve it, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. Sharing the video also helps out a lot. And until next time, have a good one.